the world bow down and say you are God, and every man will bow down and say you are King. So let's side around.
What's up, everybody? This is James, aka jmooreonkeys, and I'm here with a quick video for you today. I was just looking at this old video of this musician, David Robinson, on Instagram. His Instagram is at @OhThat'sDavy. Really dope musician. I believe he's out of Virginia. Check him out. Follow him on Instagram. So he has this video of him playing along with the song King of Glory. So I want to break down some of the moves that he's doing in this song and show how you can apply some of those and add those into your playing and put them into other songs. So let's take a look at the video real quick, and then we'll break down a couple moments from it.
The world bow down and say you are God, and every man will bow down and say you are King. So let's start right now. Why would we wait? King of glory, fill this place. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you. Oh, King of glory, fill this place. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with you.
All right, so before we get into all the fancy stuff, he is in the key of E, F sharp, G sharp, or A flat, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, or E flat, and E. All right, so he starts off real nice and high. All that is 6, 2, 1, 7. And then we get to our first fancy move here. And that takes us to the 2. So what's he doing there? Let's take a look at those notes. So we have C, F sharp, A, and then my right hand picks up with C, D, F sharp, G sharp, A. And then we go back down to G sharp, F sharp, and E. So all together. So where's that coming from? So we know that we're going to the 6, and we usually approach the 6, or any chord for that matter, from the note that is 5 notes up from it. So if we're in C sharp, we go 5 notes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A flat. So we're going to approach our C sharp from the A flat, and we're using this as like a rootless chord. So let's see, we got the notes right here, and let's add our root. So we have a G sharp, 7, flat 9, flat 5. The only thing is it's rootless, so he's just arpeggiating this chord. And I just did a video last week talking about sharp 9, sharp 5s, and flat 9, flat 5s as well, so check that out. But that's all he's doing, rootless, flat 9, flat 5. And we add that E in there. And then we do this kind of like diminished. So we're starting with C, E flat, and F sharp. And then in my right hand, I'm playing an A flat on top. So that's kind of like a A flat 7, G sharp 7 there, but inverted. and spread out. And then I move this down, so my left hand is going to move to A, D sharp, and F sharp, and my right hand is going to be playing at D sharp right there. So almost like a diminished chord. So, or if you want to keep it with A flat 7, flat 9. And then we move to that C sharp minor chord. That's going to be G sharp, C sharp, and E, and just an E in my right hand. So far we have 2, 1, 7. Here's the move. So after we do, I'm going to move down here to the suspended dominant movement. So it's going to be in my left hand, I'm playing C sharp, F sharp, and B. And my right hand is playing D sharp and G sharp. And then the F sharp and the D sharp move down to F and D. Really common in gospel. But what he's doing there to add a little flavor to it, in his right hand, he's alternating the notes. So D sharp, G sharp, and then we move down to D, G sharp. Got it? So, and that takes us to the 2. All right, let's see what's after that. All right, so that was kind of crazy. So what he's doing there, after we come to that 2, and instead of landing on the 5, we got this different kind of chord movement. And the thinking behind this move is sometimes when you're reharming, you just want to go outside the key just to make it interesting, just to change the feel. So this is an example of that. It doesn't always have to make perfect sense. As long as you can go out of that key and come back in time, then that's all that matters. So we got the 2, 1, and we're going to go to flat 7. So I'm playing, in my left hand, I'm playing D. In my right hand, I'm playing F sharp, F sharp, B, E, G sharp. I think he's probably stretching his hand from D to F sharp. So if you can do that, go ahead. If not, then all that really matters is having D in your left hand and E major. So there's the first chord. And then we're going to move to F sharp minor 9, that's F sharp and G sharp, and then A, C sharp, E, G sharp. And then we're going to move up to G sharp and F sharp, and my right hand is going to be playing a B major chord, B, D sharp, F sharp, and another B on top. And then we're going to play B and G sharp, and you can add another B as well. And my right hand, is going to play a C sharp major chord, C sharp, F, G sharp, C sharp. Then we're going to move down to A and F sharp in my left hand, and my right hand is going to be playing C, E, and A. Then I move down to this flat 5 chord, just like from the arpeggio, but just the chord this time. So we have G sharp and F sharp in my left hand, and my right hand is playing C, D, and G sharp. So all together, gonna do, it's gonna be C, it's a drop 2, C in my left hand, and my right hand is gonna play F sharp, A, and D sharp, and then I move up that top note up to F sharp. So, but he's rolling into the C in the left hand. So, all right. This one I don't really have a place for you to apply it, just because it's some random chords that just sound nice placed here. So just play around with that when you're reharming songs. See how you can go out of the key and bring it back in creatively. All right, so let's see what else we got. So what he's doing is he's taking that A major 7, actually A major 9 for real, because there's a B in there as well. And he's just kind of doing this, not really arpeggiation, but just breaking up the chord to get to the 5. So I'll play it slow for you. And I'm going to break down one more part, so let's keep watching here. So we're in the chorus now. 1. We'll go to the 6. To the 5. And this is where he does this move. Another fancy move to the 6. So what are we doing there? And why? So first, what are we doing? So I'm going to start with D sharp and C sharp in my left hand. And my right hand is going to play F sharp and A sharp or B flat. I'm trying to keep it consistent with the sharp since that's what chord he's showing me. So, and then my right hand is going to move down a whole step to E and G sharp, and then back up to F sharp and A sharp. And my left hand is kind of only playing when I'm playing these notes. So. And then we've got another kind of move like this. C, D sharp, F sharp, C. And then my left hand is going to move to this bottom C. And then my top note is going to move to that E flat. So, and then to the 6. C sharp in my left hand. And my right hand is going to play E, G sharp, and E. So, got it? Why does that work? It's almost like a 7-3-6. So what do we have here? Or a minor 2-5-1, I should say. So we've got a D sharp minor 7. And we've got this diminished chord, which if we put it over a G sharp, becomes a G sharp 7. Even if you add that A, it just becomes a flat 9. And then to the 6. So we have D sharp 7, G sharp 3, C sharp 6. So 7, 3, 6. Now I know you're thinking we have a C in the bass. How is that like the 3 if G sharp is the 3? Well, C, it's kind of like we're doing this as a rootless move for the 3. So the G sharp is more so implied by the chord and by where we're going, even though we don't actually play it. Sometimes you might not always explicitly have those bass notes exactly, but a lot of times what you're playing, you can imply those bass notes by the chord qualities, by the target where you're going, and things like that. So listen for what's there, but also listen for what they might be implying with that chord move, because it's not always a straightforward 7-3-6, 7-3-6. Sometimes it's just like implied. So as you're transcribing, as you're learning from these different musicians, take that into account. All right, so let's look at some ways we can apply that. We know we're going to the 6 there. We're going to C sharp minor, the 6. So let's see when we can apply that. We can apply it anytime that we are going to the 6 or anytime that we're going to the 2. So basically anytime we're going to a minor chord, in this case C sharp minor, we can apply this move right here. So let's take a look at some examples. Let's do He's Able, and we're going to do it in E. We're going to stay in E for this. I know the song's originally in B, but it's easy enough that we can do it in E's today. So the song, if you don't know it, is 1, 5, 6, 4. And the move is going to go right before C sharp minor, right before the 6. Let's try it. Let's try to add it in here. 1. Here we go. 1. So since this is kind of like a weird rhythm move, you can either change the rhythm, take out some parts, or you can try to just make it fit in and have it be weird, which is okay too. So I wouldn't suggest it if it's like behind a singer though. This would be more so if you're just playing around with it. But you know what? Use your discretion. So in that move, the only way I can make it fit before the 5 or before the 6, excuse me, is to take out the 5 and just do that in place of the 5. So instead of doing 1, 5, 6, I did 1, so that's one place it works. And let me show you one more out of the box kind of way. So when I'm looking at chord progressions or passing moves that approach minor chords, I think about other times that minor chords show up. And let me explain what I mean. So if we're in F sharp and we're doing a 3-6, and we look at that 3, this is an A sharp minor 7 flat 5. All right, that's going to be on our 3. But if I take out my left hand and my right hand, I just have a C sharp minor chord, which means that if I need to play this 3 while I'm in F sharp, I can use this move because there's still a C sharp minor chord that I'm approaching. So let's see if it works. So I'm going to use the song Thank You, Lord. All right, so as we can see there, you kind of had to change the timing a little bit of some things to make it fit in there. But we got 1, 7, 1. And you see I'm landing on this A sharp here because that's our bass note. I don't want to land on C sharp this time, so I'm going to the 3 in F sharp. So when you're learning these passing moves to these minor chords, don't just learn how they can be applied to that one minor chord, but look at other chords and see if there is that same minor chord in there, and see if you can fit the passing move before that chord. It might not always fit, but it definitely is a great way to get some creative passing moves that you might not usually hear. So play around with that. If it's too outside the box, then don't do it. But sometimes I like to experiment with that and have fun. All right, I hope this video helped you out, and I hope you enjoyed it. Sometimes it's just fun to learn from other musicians and play what they're playing, even if you're not going to apply it. Sometimes it's just fun to see how musicians think, because everybody has their own process. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy practicing, everybody. Head on over to jmooreonkeys.com to see what amazing products I have for you. I have links to my PDFs in the description, so check that out as well. Happy practicing, everybody, and I will see you in the next video.